So the starter calls the horses. Metro Home Building Center starting gate is rolling for race number 2. Let's go back upstairs for the race call. Here's Vance Cameron.
Mr. Stanley, Despecto Lou, Willie Brennan, Windermere Kirk, Ozark, a tough little guy. Who's that? Top of the stretch. They're approaching a start. Rough and pacing, Willie Brennan is the first one away. Mr. Stanley towards the rail, then they're coming from the outside, a tough little guy, and farther out, Who's That? Towards the inside, Mr. Stanley, then racing from 6 to Specto Lou, and the early trailer, that'll be Ozark. They're up the backstretch for time 1. Willie Brennan has the lead. Moving into second is Windermere Kirk. Now, Mr. Stanley has third, dropping in fourth, a tough little guy. Fifth is Despecto Lou, racing from 6, Who's That? And trailing the field, 7th is Ozark. Passing the opening quarter, that's Willie Brennan and the Blue Knight used 29 and 2 was the opening quarter. Tracking right there in the 2-hole is Windermere Kirk. On the turn, Mr. Stanley third. Then racing fourth, the tough little guy, Despecto Lou, tipping to the outside 5th and following him to the outside 6th. Who's That? And the trailer is Ozark. They approach the opening half mile, and Willie Brennan will bring them halfway home. Second, Windermere Kirk, Mr. Stanley third. From the outside, 4th, Despecto Lou. Racing 5th, the tough little guy. On the outside, 6th, Who's That? And up the rail, Ozark 7th, 59 seconds flat was the opening half mile. They have 3/8 left to go. Willie Brennan is the leader to the backstretch for the second time. Second, Windermere Kirk, Despecto Lou on the outside, third up the rail. Mr. Stanley is 4th. Who's That? Between horses 5th. Ozark is 3 wide now, 6th. And a tough little guy is the trailer 7th. They're past the 3/4. Willie Brennan by a couple, and it's getting late. 3/4 up in 1. 29 and 1. Willie Brennan still there. Despecto Lou on the outside, 2nd. Windermere Kirk now 3rd. Mr. Stanley 4th. And they're headed on home. Willie Brennan trying to see it through. Despecto Lou. Windermere Kirk, Mr. Stanley. That's Willie Brennan. And the Blue Knight go all the way. Despecto Lou was 2nd. Mr. Stanley 3rd. Time for the mile in 1:58.4.
Okay, here's the slow-mo for race number 2 from Redshores in Charlottetown tonight. It is the Universum slow-mo, and Willie Brennan got to the front here for the Blue Knight, and they really never looked back. They shot off the wings here, 29 and 2. They were the leaders. Past the opening split, down to the half. Jason's still the boss, 59. They roll past there, up the backstretch, 129 and 1. Really, he had no challenges here, and they swung for home here now, and you can see Jason's just after him here, keeping him interested late. But really, they never got to him here, as he's going to win 1:58 and 4. Shot off the wings, never looked back, and was a gate-to-wire winner here tonight at Red Shores in 1:58 and 4. Willie Brennan and Hughes win it. Despecto Lou is second. Mr. Stanley third. 3-2-1 in the second at Red Shores.
Willie Brennan arriving at the second race winner's circle. Bay Pacing Stallion 4 by Westward Ho Hanover from the Estrellos Dam. Stay Out of My Affair. Owned by Robbie Hughes of Stratford. Jason Hughes training and driving. Horse pacing to a maiden record of 1:58 and 4. Willie Brennan and the Blue Knight Ewes in the second.